Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me. Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot. Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. This is a Tarot Tuesday. Let's see what the cards will say today. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hopefully I look a lot brighter on camera. That's why I'm a little bit late today, because I was just making sure that the camera settings were set up and then I was stuck on Skype. I think I'm a little bit too bright, but I'm not going to change it because I got stuck in a Skype thing and then I couldn't get out of it and it was just a nightmare. But anyway, good evening to everybody. I hope you are all well. I am rocking some Sisters of Mercy merch thanks to Neil. You'll all know him as Necro Neil. I know him as the biggest trigger for me wanting to go down a rabbit hole ever, because he'll show me something, he'll message me and say, oh look, I've got this book, or oh look, there's this, and I go, oh, that's fascinating, I need to know everything. And we were talking about the sisters being back on tour, and of course now that's oh, it's this bra strap that's out, and of course now that's all I want to listen to is some Sisters of Mercy and go and see them gig again, even though the last time I saw them they were crap. But you know, thanks Neil. But anyway, good evening everybody. It looks like I got a pro camera all of a sudden. Oh, maybe it was the settings then, maybe that was it. I look well lit. Oh no, right, that's what I say. Down with the kit. The lighting is exactly the same, it's just the camera settings that are different. But I'm down with the kids. I'm well lit in it. Do you know what, in the 90s when whatever that was a thing, I couldn't do it, and it's now not the 90s and I'm a hell of a lot older and I still can't do it. Anyway, good evening everybody. Well, we are going to be doing some lovely tarot reading tonight, and yeah, you're splayed out under your ceiling fan drinking ice water. Yeah, I've got an iced coffee. I've got an orange squash because I need to hydrate because I haven't been hydrating enough. I've got a coffee kombucha waiting to go, and I've got a Diet Pepsi sat in my background. And the reason that light isn't on just there is because I've got the fan on. So if you can hear the fan, apologies. But anyway, oh yeah, oh, can you see it? Hopefully you can see it. I'm rocking the trans flag makeup eyes. Yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. Just because we went to get weighed. It wasn't too bad for me after my birthday week and the various amount of crap that we ate over last week. Oh, you can't hear the fan. I know, right? It's a good microphone, this. It's a very good microphone. If anyone wants to know about podcasting or anything like that, YouTube streaming, anything, if you want to know anything about good microphones for under 40 quid, trust me, I think I bought about 17 of them, not quite 17, but I bought about 7 of them off of Amazon over the last God knows how long, and returned and sent them back and returned, and I finally got ones that actually do work, so that's good. Right, let me just do my smudge spray. This is coming back into stock on whatever form the shop ends up taking. This is the one that I didn't clear the nozzle, did I? Bugger. Where's my other one then? I've got another one here somewhere. Oh no, where's my other spray bottle gone? Oh no, bugger. It's because I did a batch and the herbs were too big and chunky. So that's now my batch, but I meant to clear the nozzle out. Oh, that's interesting. I just dropped a lighter. Anyway, enough about all of that. Enough about all of that. She says, still looking for the other spray bottle. Where's my other spray bottle? That's really annoying. It was here. Found a moisturizer though. That's always useful. I know, right? ADHD. There it is. I put it in a safe place. Oh, gosh. Right, there we go. Look, you can see this one. It's so nice. I love it. Right, couple of squirts. Save me coffee. There we go. Oh, I do like my smudge spray. It just cleanses the room, makes it smell nice, but also gets rid of any anything like any negative toxin from, like, you know, spirit or whatever. I'm editing the podcast, by the way. Apologies, the podcast was supposed to be up already for members. It might well be up tonight. I've been editing it. It's so interesting. I don't want to cut bits out. I don't want to make it an hour. It's like, I think it deserves to be like an hour and 20 or an hour and a half, because we're just chatting about servitors, egregores, thought forms and all of that, and tulpas, and it's fascinating. And even though I was part of the podcast, it's really fascinating listening to it back, because Neil is a bloody expert. He really is. Where's my glasses were crooked. So yeah, anyway, that should be coming later tonight. I know, right? Patricia, our lovely mod, Patricia, said in the WhatsApp chat earlier, she's like, who's taken over Lisa? Why is Lisa doing all this work? Because I've got all my business cards sorted, my stickers, my leaflets. It's all branded. I've been giving leaflets out today. Oh, I'm on it. On it like a car bonnet, I am. Right then, let's have a look. No. I won't be going to the loo all night. This is the problem. Because I'm dehydrating, because it's so hot in our bedroom. We've got both fans on either side of the bedroom and it's still roasting. I'm quite dehydrated, so nothing's going through. I'm having dribbles of wee that are like Lucasade colours, and nothing else is clearing because it's all bunged up because I'm not drinking enough. So hence drinking enough. You love going down YouTube rabbit holes, which you've now found the hoof. What hoof? What do you mean hoof? I don't know what you mean. The hoof GP, a vet. I don't know. What have I been watching? I've been watching we'll get onto the tarot in the next 5 minutes. Don't worry. I've been watching a YouTuber. Oh, what's she called? It's something to do with Save the Bees or something bees. She basically goes in America, because, you know, it's got to be, where they've got like, someone's got a chest of drawers in a garage or an outbuilding, and they've got a beehive that's infested it and built their doodah or the honeycomb and everything. And she goes and takes them out and rescues them. The last video I watched, like the first one, she uses smoke, all of that, and they go from one hive to the next. But this one, she took the drawers out, and the bees are covered in the back of the drawers, and she's just tipping them into the hive like this. And I'm like, and then it gets worse. She was like, I can't tip these ones because it was at the top of the, you know, the chest of drawers where you pull it out. It was underneath that lip. And she was like, so I'm just scooping these with my hands. She's picking them up. It's not just like a few. That was a fly. It's not just a few bees. The bees were like a great big, it was like an alien. It was like Odo from Star Trek DS9, if you know, you know. Or like some amorphous blob, because she literally picked it up and it was moving, but they were all like attached like a big dollop of slime. And then she just carefully put them into the hive. Oh my God, she had no, like, bare hands and everything. Oh my God. I was panicking on her behalf. Oh, wow. You've got YouTube Pro. You watch that on TikTok, Claire. That's cool. I think it is originally on TikTok, and then she puts it onto YouTube Shorts. I don't really watch a lot of TikTok. I'm watching some witch talk. That'd be funny. By the way, good evening. Oh, anyway, right. Let me go all the way back in the chat because I've not said hello. I'm so sorry. I've not said hello to anybody. I just got on and went blah, 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 blah. Holland's just popping in quickly. Okay, Holland. Ed's here. Good evening to, oh no, I don't want to put Holland in timeout. Good evening to Holland. Good evening to Ed. Good evening to Claire Lewis. Good evening, Claire. I think you're a new subscriber, aren't you? I think so. What floats? What is this heart? I have to know. Let's all give this video a big thumbs up. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by heart. Yes, I was having some technical issues. Peacock Rainbow Queen, good evening to you. Holland, Patricia, good evening to Patricia. I think I've said hello to everybody else. Yes, I have. 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 Right. Okay, you're always watching YouTube now. Nothing on the telly. That's all we watch now is YouTube. That's literally all we watch. Peacock Rainbow Queen, hi. I hope you are well. Yeah, we'll start the questions in a couple of minutes, I think. I'm just going to crack open the deck. I'm going to crack open the deck. The deck isn't in the box. Now then, that's an issue. When you go and open the box and the deck isn't in the box, that's always a concern with my ADHD brain. Luckily, it's just here. So I think we're going to we'll use this deck, and maybe we'll use Light Seers. Now the lighting's better, actually. We might not get as much glare with the star spinner tarot, because I do like it. It is very basic, but I do like it. Right, anything else I need to tell you about tonight? No, I don't think there is, apart from the fact I know that there was one reading that's already been booked in. The lovely Patricia has booked a reading in for Claire Lewis. So there is a reading booked in. So thank you for that. That's been booked in. If you would like to either book a reading on a live Tuesday, or if you'd like to QJump a reading to guarantee that you are that yours is selected, or that yours goes next, you can do so just over here at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. That's also where you can join up our memberships, where you get videos a day early, at least, hopefully, normally. That might not be the case with the podcast, or the podcast might end up coming out on Thursday. Either way, it should be up today or tomorrow at the very latest, and then a day later it will come up on the YouTube. But that's also where you'll get details like we've got the pictorial guide to the tarot by A.E. White. There's a download of that available. There's a download for the thank you, Neil. There's a download of the Rider-Waite deck as well. Have I put that up yet? That might be on there yet. I can't remember. And there's also a herbal grimoire that's all available to download, free to members. So if you want any of that, go ahead, go over there. If you're a member, go over there and click on the members bit, and you'll get it all for free. So yes, right then, Claire, you can have a general reading. Before we go any further, I do have to say that, oh, by the way, also I'm going to be moving everything around, so the camera shouldn't be quite as wobbly as it has been of late. So hopefully we'll solve some of those issues. And yeah, so before I go any further, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all your own decisions about your own life. And of course, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. Yes, I have got some bits of paper in qualifications for counseling skills and things like that, but I am not a trained counselor. I am definitely not a trained financial advisor. Definitely not. Yeah, so if you want advice in any of those areas, please do go and seek out professionals in those areas. Never ask a tarot reader for advice on, you know, whether you should buy this stock or that stock, because it's the sort of thing that generally we don't know. And anybody who says that they do, or that can guide you to make financial, like especially big financial decisions, just be a little bit aware. You like not just a pinch of salt, you want the whole fucking bag, you know what I mean? Also, while I'm doing all of the disclaimers and things, also please be aware this is on the interwebs, and what that means is even in a year's time, 5 years time, 10 years time, if YouTube is still a platform, or even if it's not, if YouTube went bust tomorrow, right, and shut everything down, you would still be able to find this recording on things like the Wayback Machine and things where everything on our digital footprint these days is archived. So if you don't want that coming back to bite you on the bum because you're having a secret affair with your boss, or you've been embezzling millions and millions and millions of dollars from your boss, or you've been, you know, I don't know, saying things all over the internet about your boss, for instance, if you don't want that on the interwebs, then again, go look at private reading idea. I do the reading, I send it across to you via Dropbox, and then nobody is any the wiser. There's only one more proviso and one more advisor. Words are hard today. It's too hot. My brain is like one of the Terry Pratchett trolls. My brain does not function fully when it's a hot day. Not that it functions fully on a cold day either, to be fair. But anyway, one more disclaimer and we'll get on to Claire's reading. And it's all about, wow, have you seen the news?
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Indeed. Also, I do have to say that is genuinely an archive photo of me. I can't skip it forward, but that is genuinely an archive photo of me where you see the little girl and the pussycat. I'm actually the pussycat in that photo, taken from a previous life. So there you go. A bit of information you didn't know you needed. Anyway, right then, Claire, we're going to crack on with your reading, my darling. Let's just have a look and see. So a general reading for you. Fantastic. We're going to do that. Then everybody else, get ready with your questions. Coming up straight after Claire Lewis, you will be up. So you possibly within 10 minutes, you'll get your reading. Just hang on in there. This is for Claire. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Okay then, Claire, we've got card cam up and ready. You want just a general reading, my darling. So I'm going to do that for you now. Right then, let's move back to one side. Don't forget, everybody, I don't have the chat on my screen, because if I did have the chat on my screen, then I would absolutely 100% be distracted, and I'd be reading what you're commenting in the comments rather than reading the cards. So literally, it'll be like, oh, this is the, I don't know, we'll say the Ace of Swords. This means that, oh, you saw a squirrel in your garden today. That was fascinating. And actually, it was a grey squirrel. And then I start talking about that, because I just read and then my brain doesn't comprehend things the way that a lot of people's do. But anyway, that's neurospiciness for you. I love that phrase, by the way, Holland. I like that phrase. Right then, Claire, we haven't got a card that's jumped. The dragons are on board. Oh, I didn't. Hang on. Oh no. Oh no. Dude, we're frozen. Are you frozen on your end? Is it just frozen on my screen? Oh no. Is it frozen? Can somebody let me know? Is it frozen on your screen? Did it freeze? Can somebody just let me know? Did that on that other cam, on card cam, did that freeze then? Because it didn't. Yes, it did. Right. Okay. So we're not going to be able to use card cam again today. It's a bit temperamental. I don't understand why, but anyway, let's just crack on. So you're going to do your cuts. We didn't have a card jump for you, my darling. So then, yeah, thank you, Ed. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for letting me know. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Right, let's have a look at what we've got for Claire. A general reading, my darling. So in the past position, we've got the 10 of Wands. Now, it has come up reversed, so I'll show you it upright. This deck is a very basic looking deck, but actually it's got quite a lot of little fluffy details and things, which is amusing. So yes, it does look like a fairy. It's actually a sprite, because I don't work with Fae energy, but I do work with Sprite energy. So it's a sprite that just happens to look a bit like the Fae, okay? Sitting on a mushroom. And Wands for me is all about your sense of security, your sense of confidence, how you know yourself, all of that, all of the stuff about your own personal identity and your way through life, okay? Now the 10 is at the end of that journey. So it's gone, you've basically built yourself up, if you like, and you know yourself quite well, but this is coming up in the past position and it's come up reversed, which means I think there's some confidence issues that you are perhaps masking at the moment. I don't know if that makes sense. It feels like you because this is, oh no, look at that, it's completely blown out. Right, there you go, you can see it. Wasn't supposed to be on this camera, but there. So you've got all the wands in place, so you kind of know. Right, do you know what it is, Claire? Because Patricia's asked me to do a reading, I'm doing something that I never do. I'm trying to fudge and be kind. What I'm going to say, right, is without the bullshit, because that's what we do on this channel. It's beyond authentic tarot. It feels like the 10 of Wands this way up, right? It feels like you know exactly how to mask the fact that you don't feel very confident in certain aspects of your life, and you know very well how to play at being confident. Do you know what I mean? You know how to give the appearance of confidence. Now, I used to do this all the time. It's that fake it till you make it thing. So this is saying that in the recent past, you've really kind of had to fake it and to show the world, like put a picture on Facebook and it being like, I don't know, it being a Costa cup and you holding it like stood in the garden, and actually you haven't been to Costa. It's a really bad example, but it's like you go, oh, Costa life, you know, Costa coffee life, or whatever it is, and actually you haven't left the house for 2 months, and it's you're trying to portray that you're more confident, but also like maybe in a better headspace than you have been. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's one of those sort of cards where it really just tells me, because I used to be the absolute queen of this, right? I used to be the absolute queen of this. Slap a face, or even now, and some of the people in the chat know this because they've been there when I've been in work mode, where I literally just, it's like my brain switches and I'm like, when I used to have to advocate for people, it would be, right, okay, this is what we're going to do, and actually this is what the law says, and this is where you fucked up, and this is where this is what we want for the client, and this is what we want for the service user, and this is where you've done this, and this is where you've done that, right? And I would go in like this. Going to my doctors, I'm like, can I please have my tablets that I was supposed to have already, because I didn't, can I, you know what I mean? So I struggle with that myself. So that's in your recent past. Now in the current position, we've got a massive change that's happening, right? So luckily this deck has got very pretty pictures. This card, do not get upset by the name, okay? In most decks, this card is called what this one is called, but I've got other decks where it's called transformation or transition. Now, this has come up reverse. It's the 13th major card, which is classed as the death card. Now, this isn't about death, and in fact, this deck, look, if I hold it the right way up, look how beautiful this card is. You can see this this figure, this sort of female type figure, is holding a baby, a newborn, and in her cloak she has the entire universe. We've got butterflies here, we've got poppies here, we've got all sorts of energy here. She's holding a newborn cherub. So what this is actually talking about is that there is a period of massive change for you right now. So I don't know what's happened in the past with this 10 of Wands, but it feels like one chapter is closed, and that now you've got this new, almost like a new lease on life. It almost feels like you've gone, do you know what? I don't want to be with you no more. I'm divorcing your sorry ass. Now you've got yourself out, and now you've got a brand new MAC Ruby Woo lipstick, which is my favorite lipstick of all time. And you've gone, and now you're like, huh, I don't need your ass, and you're out of there. Do you know what I mean? It feels like that sort of that bigger change. And I don't know why I'm saying that, but that is absolutely what it feels like. But if it isn't that you've changed relationships or whatever, this change that you're going through is quite a big change. Does that make sense? It's a lot. There's a lot happening now. Because it's reversed, it feels like this isn't necessarily by choice. So it feels to me as if it's something that you're having to make the best of as we go along, rather than it being like you didn't wake up and go, on June the 12th I am going to do this and this, and I'm going to change my life forever. It's like you're having to respond to life's events. Does that make sense? And but the transformation, the death card, is such a major change. It's literally it's like, when you get to an end of a book and you've really loved it, and especially if it's a book series. Like for me, it was the Suki Stackhouse, the ones that they did, not Vampire Diaries, the other ones. True Blood, right? I was reading those. Oh my God, I could not stop. I was like, read. Got to the end of one book, read the next one, read the next one, read the next one, not realizing I was on the last book, and I was like, read. Oh shit, there's no more. So this card represents that moment where you're finishing a book and there's another book to come, or there's another film, you know. So that's what it's about. In the future position, we've got another wand card, but this is very different, right? Look, is Peter bloody Pan? It's Peter Pan. Like, tell me that isn't Peter Pan. It's Peter Pan, right? But it's the 7 of Wands. Now, the Wands in this case is upright. So this is saying that whatever this changes, whatever you're going through at the moment, the energy that's coming in, the energy to literally that's coming through now is going to be a lot more confident, right? This is you standing up and starting to shine again, not with the fake confidence, but with some genuine kind of starting to feel your badass self, starting to, you know, get in touch with your own, basically talk to yourself the way you would talk to a friend. Does that make sense? So it's that moment where you're like, you know, if you heard a friend saying about themselves some of the things that we say to ourselves at times, you'd go, what are you saying that for? You're not a add insult that you tell yourself here. You're lovely. You're like, I wouldn't be friends with you if you were a dick or whatever. You know what I mean? And this is saying that. This is saying that you are about to start believing. I'm going to have to use the other deck because, again, the glare on this deck, it would have been so nice. But anyway, now, the one thing I was saying about the 7 of Wands, right, is that it's a little bit, it's incomplete. Let's put it that way. It's incomplete, right? So it's saying that although you're going from faking it till you make it, and now you're going through this big change, you're not quite in the making it bit. So it's not like you're going to suddenly go, I'm Beyonce. You know what I mean? It's like it's a progress. But what the energy that's coming in is at a 7, not a 10, if that makes sense. So it's like you're immediately increasing where you were, because you were at -10 and now you're at +7. I don't know if that makes any sense, but whatever's coming your way, my darling, the energy that's coming, and this will be by the end of July, between now and the end of July, right? So the current position, normally for me, that's about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks either side. So that would say up to the end of June is where you're going to feel this change happening, and you're going to feel it's going to be a bit tumultuous, and you might feel like from one day to the next you don't quite know what your plans are, and things are shifting and things are changing. That should settle down, and hopefully by the end of July, that's when you'll be like, I've got this, we're on it, we're fine, you know, normal process has been resumed, we've got this. Hopefully, my darling, that helps. Yeah, anyway, hopefully that helps, my darling. Thank you very much for subscribing and joining us on the channel. We are a rather an interesting bunch over here. Oh my gosh, we're an interesting bunch over here for sure. But it is a really lovely community, and I will say that to all of you watching. If you are able to hang on the live streams, just take part in the chat, in the streams, on the live chat, because it is really a wonderfully friendly space. And I know we're not millions wide, but we do have a really lovely community on this channel, which I'm really grateful for, and mainly that's down to the wonderful mods for keeping it safe and secure for everybody. So thank you to the mods. But yes, thank you very much, Claire. Hopefully that helps. Let's have a look on the comments. Nope, not the banners, the comments. Oh wow. It means you'll always be young. What, because of the Peter Pan? Possibly. Or is it you've got to fly? Is it applause that makes Tink fly? I can't remember. Bad, innit? Can't remember. No problem, my darling. Absolutely no problem, Claire. No problem. It's what we're here for. And hopefully you'll join us again as we do more. Cup of tea with $3 worth of sugar and cookies. Hello. Good evening to you. We're going to open up the list very shortly. Cup of tea with $3 worth of sugar and cookies. That's a lot of sugar. We're going to open the list very, very soon, my darlings. Who else just popped in? Nandini. Good evening, Nandini. How are you? I hope you are well as well. Right then, everybody, we are going to open the next round. So if you would like a tarot reading, what you have to do is go ahead and put your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. Put your question in every single round. If you put it in beforehand, I'm not going to see it, okay? So whenever I call for a round or say the round is open, put it in now. And if you still need to know more, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Yes, indeed. You can guarantee your question and you can guarantee it to be up next by going across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. That's also where you can join our memberships. You can do thank yous and things over there. You can buy readings, all sorts of bits and bobs. Don't forget, this channel is not monetized on the YouTubes, so we make no money out of this whatsoever. And if you ever do see adverts on the live streams or on the replays, YouTube gets all of the money, all of the ad revenue for that. Right, let's have a little look-see. So oh gosh, excuse me. Right then, it looks like the only question we've had is from Peacock Rainbow Queen. So Peacock Rainbow Queen, my darling, your question is now. How do I heal and move on from what S and his family have done to me? Right, my darling, first of all, I will say, oh gosh, hang on, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. I will say, as I always do, my darling, listen, this is not counseling, right? And it's not, hang on, sorry, I'm trying to turn this banner off. There we go. This is not counseling, but I recommend counseling for anybody who's gone through trauma. I totally recommend counseling. It can work wonders. It can be really tricky, but it can absolutely work wonders. Okay, so what I would Holland, you'll be up next. What I would say, my darling, is if you've gone through a really traumatic period, then absolutely please do seek out counseling if you can. Avoid, is it called Better Health? That one that all the YouTubers are promoting. Please do not use that. From looking into it and digging in a little bit, they've got some appalling reviews and appalling lack of transparency. They've got counselors on there that aren't actually employed by them anymore. There's a lot. So please never use Better Health at the moment until they change a lot of their procedures. I would not recommend it with a 10-foot barge pole, to be brutally honest. But hopefully we're going to get you some answers from the tarot. Remember, you do make all your own decisions about your own life, my darling. And this is only for entertainment purposes only, but we will have a look. Now, in terms of healing, there are lots of ways that you can heal a broken heart and that you can heal from trauma. One thing, just we've got a card that's flipped. One thing that I would say is, oh wow, that's interesting. The card that's flipped is the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Now this is your modifying card or your clarifying card, so I'll come to that in a second. But in terms of healing, one of the things I will say is it's a cliche because it's true. Time does help. Getting out of a situation, getting a little bit of distance from that situation can really help. But let's see what the cards have got to say, right? Let's have a look. We'll see what the dragons bring you today, my darling. It's going, can you see it? It's creeping. It was determined to go there, but it didn't want to cut. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Wispy. Do change the cards, whatever you need to, and because we're there now. Right then, so we're going to do the where you are now, what you need to know, and the opportunity. That's the spread we're going to use. Okay, so the 10, not the 10, bloody hell. It says 10 because it's the number 10 card. The Wheel of Fortune is a card in your that's come up as your clarifying card. Okay, now what that means is that this will alter the other 3 cards that we lay down. The Wheel of Fortune itself for me is a card that's about risk and benefits, right? So sometimes the risk can outweigh the benefits, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's like walking into a casino, as I always say, with your last $100. Yes, you could win big, or you could lose your last $100 and then be in a much worse situation. So the Wheel of Fortune it means there's a lot of opportunity around you right now. Fate can go in many different directions right now. It's like a nexus point, a branching off point. But as much benefit as you can gain is the risk that you might lose. Okay, my darling. So just be aware, and then we're going to have a little look see. So we've got the Ace of Swords coming up in your past position. This is reversed again. Apologies for card cam not fully working. I tell you what, let me just see if I can, if it will at least take a with. Hang on. There we go. No, it doesn't want to work with card cams. So in the past position, no, sorry, not past position. Jesus, what is wrong with me today? It's because I was working on this camera. I was making it all look lovely. But anyway, enough. Where you are now, we have the Ace of Swords, right? And it's reversed. So if I show you it that way up, this is the Lightseers deck, by the way. Now, the Ace of Swords. Swords for me is all about trouble and strife. Okay, so it's talking about obstacles and challenges. But just look at this card. Look at this spiral that the psyche, the mental health is saying, basically, that there is a spiral there. Look at that all the way down. And this is basically saying that where you are right now, my darling, is probably in shock, if that makes sense, because the Ace of Wands, now because this is reversed, this isn't something that you've caused, right? So I know that here you're talking about what S and his family have done to you. This is all on them, right? This is the repercussions of what they've done. So this spiral is not your fault, but it's where you are. Okay, so I totally understand the need for asking about how to heal. Now, again, when we're looking at this through the prism of the Wheel of Fortune, it's really clear that, again, this isn't something that you've had. This isn't something that you've had a cognitive choice in. It's like it feels like you were stuck. And okay, dragons, thank you. It feels like you were stuck on a spoke on that wheel. Does that make sense? And it's like other people were spinning that wheel and you were just a cog that's being spun around and around and around and around. That is what I'm getting with the dragons. If you don't know what I'm talking about with dragons, it's the elemental energies that I work with. Arguably, they're classed as servitors, but it's very much like it just feels like this Wheel of Fortune, you were stuck. And it's like, you know, on the game show where they put like a special disc or something on it and then they spin it and they try and land on there. It's like you were trying to land on the wedge that would get you out of that situation, and no matter how many times it was spun, it was never that window of escape for you. Does that make sense? We in the what you need to know, we've got the Seven of Swords right now. Again, this is trouble and strife. This is difficulties, and what this is saying is that you need to basically realize that you don't have to carry this all with you, if that makes sense. Because look, this person is basically trying to steal the feathers. That's how I interpret it, right? Stealing the feathers from the crows. Now, the crows in this deck are the symbols for the swords, and this person's trying to take from them. And so, of course, the birds are going to react. And this is saying to you, like, however you reacted with whatever was done, your reaction was perfectly valid, because they were taking your, they were clipping your feathers, they were clipping your wings, right? So because that was happening to you, because that people were trying to take what was yours, of course you're going to have a reaction that is more than likely this spiral. Does that make sense? It's like, they kept trying to, they were pulling your tail feathers, which you need to for guidance. You need to be able to fly. And it feels very much like, you blame yourself. Wow, this is getting dragons. Take it off, take it off, take it off. I'm in an emotional place already at the moment. So if this gets deep, it feels like you've been blaming yourself for what happened to you, right? And that somehow you could change, or you could have done something different and avoided it. And that isn't the case, right? The dragons, the dragons are absolutely giving me this thing of you had no choice. You had to react the way you reacted because the situation you were in didn't allow you to react any other way. Does that make sense? So it's almost like saying, if you've been starved of food for 5 days, and somebody and say you're vegan, right, and you've been starved of all food for 5 days or 6 days or 10 days or whatever it is, and you are literally starving, and somebody puts a Big Mac in front of you or a dirty great big steak, you'll probably end up eating it for survival. You won't feel good about it. It will go against everything you believe in, and it will be something you never would have thought you would do, but you do it to survive. And this is what the dragons are giving me, right? Whatever happened, you survived, and you had to react the way you did at the time for your survival. Does that make sense, my darling? So whatever you're blaming yourself for, whatever this element of guilt or shame or blame, take that off the table, because you had to react that way because of what external sources were doing. And they lied. They were lying to you almost from day one. Almost from day one, my darling. I honestly, I don't know what the situation is, but the dragons are giving me so much download into my memory at the moment. It's ridiculous. So you were lied to from day one, and there was a manipulation happening almost from day one that took you to whatever happened. It was like, it wasn't necessarily planned, but it was like, oh, well, we can take advantage of this situation and we can make Peacock do what we want. And once you were on that path, it's like being on a roller coaster, my darling. You've sat in the chair, that things come down and locked you in, and then that's it. You're there for the ride. There's nothing you could have done to not be on that ride. You know what I mean? Once you're in that seat, you're off, up and down, up and down, up and down. There is nothing at all that you could have done. And even the fact that you could say, well, I chose to sit in that seat, it was done in such a way that you had very little choice, my darling. You weren't given the option to say, I don't want to go on a roller coaster today. It's like they went, which roller coaster out of these three? And you went, none. Oh no, we'll go on all three then. And it's like, that was the reaction. And so you had no choice. So guilt, blame, shame, guilt, shame, blame, whichever way around that goes, those three, it's not whatever it was, it really is not your fault. And you are kicking yourself and beating yourself up for something that wasn't your fault. Literally not your fault. Literally not your fault. Oh my gosh, dragons, right, take it off, because this is getting emotional. The opportunity we've got, it's a really interesting card, right? And I can see how it is an opportunity card, but on the surface it feels negative, but it isn't. We've got the 8 of Swords, right? So all 3 of your cards are swords, which is saying that you are going through it right now, my darling, right? I can feel now as you're talking. I don't know whether you are welling up or whether it's me reacting, because I'm in emotional stuff with my own family at the moment, but it feels really raw. Now, the Eight of Swords is about uncovering the blinkers, basically taking the blinkers off, taking the blindfold off, and being able to tackle those issues and tackle the problem with your eyes open and with full knowledge of which way to go, right? And it's not going to be an easy process, because this is kind of this is looking into what's happened and making peace with what's happened in your own mind. And the only way to do that is to openly look at kind of review the video, if you like, of what's happened. And it's a good card in terms of revealing the cold hard truth, right? And I think this is what you need to have at the moment. At the moment, it feels like you've been gaslit, right? A lot. And so you don't know what the truth is. You know that you feel that you were to blame and that you could have done things differently and that you could have stopped a process. That's kind of how you're thinking about it, when the reality is there was no option for you. There was no choice here. This was done to you. And again, once you're on that roller coaster, you cannot escape. And even that decision wasn't yours totally anyway, if that makes sense. To get into this, it wasn't totally your decision. So all the way across the board, there is no blame here. There is nothing for you to take home with you, nothing for you to carry around with you anymore. And this Eight of Swords is really saying, look, once you recognize that, and once you recognize that this wasn't a conscious decision by you, then it means that there was no consent, which means it wasn't your fault, right? It's not your fault. It really isn't. And I don't, hopefully you'll take these words to heart, and you'll start to see that it wasn't, and that there wasn't an option for you. Dragons, I want one more card. We want an outcome card, please. Of where Peacock can go, to which direction Peacock can go in terms of healing. So once we've got this Eight of Swords card, what we want to know is, with the knowledge, with the truth, with everything being unveiled fully, what's the outcome? Like, how does she, sorry, I'm assuming your gender horrifically there. How do they recover, right? One card, dragons. And in fact, we're going to do a drop. We're going to do a drop. Let me have a look. One card. There we go. One card. What have we got? We've got the High Priestess, a major card and a positive card. Can I just show you her eyes? Look at her eyes, right? Can you see? Her eyes are closed, but they're also open. The High Priestess is all about knowledge, right? In a lot of decks, you can see she sat between two pillars with the Torah in her hands. This could be indicating, listen to your intuition, listen to your own spirituality. I don't know whether you are spiritual. I don't know whether you are, part of the wider sort of psychic world, if you like, whether you're, interested in this sort of thing. Obviously, you've got at least an interest because you're asking for a tarot reading. But the High Priestess is all about kind of being your own goddess, your own guru, and finding your spirituality and your connection. Now, that could be an organized religion. So it could mean, going to a church, a synagogue, a temple, whatever that is, whatever that means for you. Or it could be finding your own spiritual path and finding your own connection with whatever you believe. Or not. Or, finding a spiritual connection in science. Even it doesn't have to be a deification, but it's talking about through this knowledge that you get with the 8, and this is not going to be an easy knowledge to get and to deal with, but through this you are going to uncover that inner goddess, that inner priestess that you've got, with that ability to not just move forward for yourself, but the high priestess brings others on her journey. She is a leader of other people that have gone through similar. So this feels something like however you find this truth and how you move forward is going to eventually inspire others. And it's something that, again, it feels very much it feels very much like there is, I don't know whether you read your own cards or runes or whatever, but it feels very much like I'm talking to another seer, another spiritualist in some way, and I don't know whether you've accepted or whether you've moved in that path yet, but it feels very much like there's something there. I realized I've been talking for a long time. Anyway, my darling, I hope that helps. Your original question, how do I heal and move on? I think you've just got to realize that it wasn't your fault. I think you've got to talk it through with counselor and professional advice. And then once you realize, or once you have your eyes opened, which is interesting because that's what this card is, but also that's what this card is, all about opening your eyes even when they're shut. Once you do that, I genuinely believe that you will be in a higher place spiritually, and probably in a higher place emotionally, and all of that as well. And with that, my darling, I really hope it helps. I feel like I could be talking to you all evening, and yeah, but I haven't got time to do that, my darling. But I really wish you nothing but the very, very best, my sweet. And please do, like, hang around on the chat if you want. Pop in and see us. We're live every Tuesday and Sunday. If you want to just come on the stream and just hang out with people that are kind of a little bit kooky, a little bit out there sometimes, but also all of us have wonderful, or all of the mods and a lot of the regulars on this channel have wonderful open hearts, and they will happily sit and chat to you and just go, "You're right, how's your day going? Is everything all right?" You know what I mean? A bit like meeting your mates down the cafe having a cup of tea. Hopefully, my darling, that helps, and we are going to move on now. Yes, I know, Ed. Thank you. Yeah, right. Let's move on. Whew. Oh, sorry. Let me have a look on the chat. I clicked back onto it, didn't I? Oh, no problem, my darling. Your eyes are open, but you can't get over the trauma. You will do. You will do. Trust me. That High Priestess card, there's a lot of really amazing things to come in your future. Like, really good. Like, you've just got to lick your wounds now. Find your truth, find your truth, and the rest of it will come in time. Honestly, my darling. Oh yes, you are spiritual. Oh, see, I know. They're telling everyone that you're the one lying. No, just the truth will come out. That opportunity card, that 8 of Wands, the truth will, 8 of Swords, that truth will come out. A lot of gaslighting, and they're telling you it now. No, it will come out, my darling. It will absolutely come out. Right. I hope that helps. Oh gosh. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you've done the right thing, my darling. It really does sound like the right thing. Yeah, it really does sound like you've done the right thing, my darling. So hopefully that helps. Right, I'm going to go to Holland next. Holland, if you like to pop your question into the chat, we'll go to Holland next. Right, everybody, while I do that, while we sort that out, don't forget, if you would like a reading, there's a couple of ways of doing it. Next time I open up another round, which will be straight after Holland, then you will be able to pop your question into the live chat, and I will go ahead and tell you when that's going to happen. Or you can go across here to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can, in fact, Buy Me a Coffee, and also QJump. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, do take advantage of that. Right. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. And then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding your bell, and make sure your settings are changed to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time I upload a video. But if you would like to support myself and this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/BeyondAuthentic, where you can in fact buy me a coffee. Thanks so much for those of you choosing to support me. Indeed. Right, let's have a look at the comments. Yes, indeed. Right. Should you take it? It will be a question of pounds versus happiness, but would it be only for a few years? Right. Okay, let's have a look. My coffee cup is starting to fall apart. I know, right? Important things in life. Right then, dragons. The lovely Holland is one of our mods on this channel, and Holland would like to know, I do know the situation. We know what's going on at the moment. If offered the management job, should be take it. It would be a question of money versus happiness, but it would only be for a few years. So that's what we'd like to know now. Would it be, is it worthwhile grabbing the job if it's offered the management role for a couple of years? Right, that's essentially what it is, isn't it? Let me just grab this. Excuse me, everybody. Right, so then, dragons, what Holland would like to know is the situation with B that I am giving you now. That situation, we would like to know, should B take the management position if offered? Bit more security money wise, but near job wise. That's what we want to know. So then let's have a look. Right. Again, once again, everybody, apologies for the single camera. It feels like we're right back at the early days of streaming with only one camera. All the days when I tried to use my phone as the other camera. Do you remember? Do you all remember? That never worked either, did it? But this was working earlier. It was absolutely working earlier. When I was testing out the camera settings, it was working. So I don't know what is going on. Right then, let me try and do a riffle shuffle. I don't know why I'm wanting to do a riffle shuffle, but I just go with my flow. That sounds wrong in so many ways. Right. Yay! Oh, almost a proper riffle shuffle. I'm getting there, you know. I'm getting there. Right then, dragons, what do we think? Do we think B should take the management job, or do we think that they should hold off for something? Oh, something else maybe. Right, let's have a look. What have we got that's just flown across the room? The Four of Swords. Interesting. So this is your modifier. Fours are stability, right? So it's about stability. Swords, as you know, is challenges, obstacles, things sent to try us. But this is actually an interesting card because look, even though this is a sword, and even though you'd normally expect this to be like rah! Energy, look how peaceful this person is asleep in the nest. Like they're quite happy having a snooze, having a doze. So we'll see how that feeds in. Now, what I'm going to do, Holland, I really wish card cam was working because I'm going to do you a 7 card, and we're going to do the standard horseshoe reading. If we weren't live, I would do you a full 10 card, but we'll do the 7 card, and it should give us enough to know. Right. Interestingly, I'll just lay the cards out because you can't see what they are. And then, okay, we've got. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. 7 card horseshoe. Let me see if we just want to take a photo with it. Oh, right. Okay. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Card cam might be okay. Right. So. Okay, past position. Let me drop the question. Hang on, there we go. So in the past position, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. It came up earlier. So the Wheel of Fortune, again, is saying this is recent past, a lot of upheaval, which we realize, not down to B, not down to B's fault, but also this upheaval, the opportunities that are coming up aren't, they're not, it's not like a choice between, I don't know, a plate of profiteroles with the most gorgeous like ice cream versus a plate of the most wonderful luxurious sticky toffee pudding and custard, where you could go, oh, I could have either. It's not so much that. It's like this is a choice where it's like between a bit of stale old wedding cake and a bit of manky old gluten-free Christmas pudding. You know what I mean? So it's like you can take either choice, but neither is particularly comfortable. And I think that's what's coming up here. It's basically saying that all of this upheaval, it's like it's the best of a bad situation. Does that make sense? It's the best of a bad situation. In the present position, though, we've got the fucking world. And this card I have not seen since I've been using this deck. This card has not come up from the Lightseers. So much so that when it popped up, I actually thought it was a minor card. But look, you've got the alchemical and all the various symbols. But look at this person. Look at the joy on this person's face, right? This is coming up in your present position. Now, for me, this is saying is that if there is an opportunity, then grab it. So if that opportunity is a management role, then grab it. You don't know what that's going to lead to. It will lead to, there's a whole world of new opportunities, a complete change, right? And this world card, like, going with this as your clarifier, it's talking about, yeah, there will be some obstacles and there will be some challenges, because there always is, but look how positive this is. Look how friendly this is. Look how wonderful. Look at the light energy that is glowing all around this person. This is a really positive thing, and it will lead to other opportunities as you go down the road. So instantly, it's saying that if B does get offered that, for me, then that's what this is talking about. Look, grab the opportunity. In the influence, we've got the 5 of Swords. So again, this is talking about, and it's reversed. So 5 of Swords, I'll hold it that way up. 5 of Swords regularly has the person where they are carrying multiple swords and dropping them. So you've got, no, sorry, it has the people fighting on the standard one. So it's about turmoil. It's about combativeness. And this coming up being reversed is basically saying, look, this decision, everything that's happened recently feels like it's completely overwhelming. It feels like it's almost too much of a fight, too much to deal with, right? But this being here is, it's not. It's a challenge. It isn't something that is overwhelming. It isn't going to be something that is too much. You know what I mean? It's dealable, if that makes sense. The obstacle, we've got the 2 of Wands. Now this is interesting. It was reversed, but this is interesting as an obstacle card, okay? Because Wands again is about security and confidence, but this feels like it's almost talking about your relationship with each other, and it's almost saying that, you know, there has to be almost, how can I put it? It feels like the challenge is about how you both move forward into maybe a less secure future, if that makes sense. And again, it's with this 4 coming in, talking about stability but challenge. It feels like whatever choice you make, if this management job is offered, right, if it's only for a couple of years, it's not a secure future. It's not like a 10-year contract. The same is true, though, if you don't take this job. It's like either way, there isn't going to be a lot of security. So this obstacle card is really talking about how you two manage that instability. Does that make sense? Especially when it comes down to B's confidence and how B sees themselves in what role, because I know they've been doing that particular job for a while, and it kind of becomes part of the identity. So how do they then make that transition from what they have been doing into something else? And are the skills transferable? And, you know, is that something that is even going to be possible in terms of, you know, it's money, but meh, you know what I mean? So it would talk, this is talking about how you two manage that together. The way that other people see it, they see it as being it's the Knight of Cups, so it's an emotional card, but they also see it as being kind of this decision of, look, about the decision, right? There's a knee-jerk reaction that's happened, and I don't know whether this is you saying to B that B's knee-jerk reacting, or whether this is the pair of you, or how this is working, but there's a knee-jerk reaction in place that is basically saying, part of you is going, yep, take it because bills, and part of you is going, or for me, it would be part of B, I think, is actually going, oh, I really don't want to do that. I really, like, fuck no. I'd rather go and work on a checkout in Aldi. You know what I mean? Like, I can sling a tin of beans at 500 miles an hour down that conveyor belt as fast as anyone else. I don't. And it's about this awareness is about this. Just be aware that this is an emotional reaction. This is not a response. This is an emotional reaction in the moment. Okay. The advice, we've got the King of Swords reversed, which is, for me, again, this goes back to when I was talking here about the confidence. For me, this goes back to it may well be that B has to accept that he's not going to be seen in the same way with this job. So there is almost like a downgrade in, maybe not authority, but a downgrade in, how can I say it? A downgrade in, what's the word? Come on, brain. There is a word that my brain has just deleted thanks to ADD. A downgrade in, I guess, the respect of others, or like pecking order, that sort of thing. And it's that I think is like, once that's accepted, this knee-jerk reaction is dealt with, if that makes sense. Because it's almost like, well, I've been in this role, I've been in this role for so long, and now I'm going to stature, thank you. Yeah, so it's like I've been in this job for that long, and now I'm going to come in under here, and it's not the same, and it's not even a sideways move. It's basically a demotion, but it's not a demotion, but it will be seen by others as a demotion. But if that's the right move, my darling, if that is the right bloody move, if that is going to secure your mid to long-term future, then that is what you need to do. Does that make sense? Hang on. Oh God, I'm getting distracted by the chat because I didn't have the chat off. What was I saying? But yeah, that's the advice, right? So accept that there will be a change, and that, you know, the king might no longer be a king, but at the end of the day, you're still going to make a king's ransom. Now that doesn't make any sense, Lisa, but you know what I mean? It's like you might not be seen as a king anymore, or B might not be seen as a king anymore, but that's fine. You know, you don't have to be. And if you can grasp this, then that's fine. And I think that is a sticking point. I think that is really a sticking point, because again, this confidence card, this wands card, it really does feel like this is the issue. And it's like, well, do I go from this to nothing, whereas at least I quit when I was here, or do I go from this and then downgrade to this, and then maybe later I'll be downgraded to that, and then I'll end up as a bloody, you know, I don't know, whatever the lowest rank is in that particular employment. The last card, the outcome card, we have again the Ace of Swords, and again it's reversed. So it feels like the outcome is a little bit, it's a new venture, but it's a new obstacle, and it is a little bit of a head fuck. And I think it's a little bit of a head fuck for B to deal with. I'm going to do the full 10 because I need to get these other 3 cards. Right. Sorry, everyone, if you're waiting. This is what we do sometimes. A 3 card ends up being a 10 card. So this is the outcome. It still feels like it's a bit of a head fuck, but it does feel like it. I think the decision's already made, in all honesty, and I think if that job offer happens, it's going to be taken. Yes, it's going to be like, I don't want to do it, but the reality is going to step in of actually financially it's going to be more secure, and like you're just going to have to deal with no longer being seen as the bloody king, if that makes sense. Right, so we've got temperance needed. This is why it needs to be a 10 card. Right, okay. So you need you hang on, let me lay the cards before I talk about them. Temperance, 7 of Wands, another confidence card, and the 8 of Pentacles. Right. Oh, interesting. Right. Okay, we can talk. So the temperance card coming up here is talking about what you need, or what B needs to bear in mind, right? And again, this is about the least worst situation. Does that make sense? So it's not talking about this is going to be like the best decision and everyone's going to be super happy and everyone gets what they want, but this is the least worst scenario. This is the situation which is that middle way through. It's like, all right, it's not going to be totally shit. It's not, slinging tins of beans on the shelf at Aldi. Not that there's a problem with that, but going from what he's been doing to that would be, a massive culture shock. But it's saying, look, you can deal with that because this is like that midway point, right? It's fine. Once you accept that this is what's needed and you accept the lack of the king position, it's fine. Like you'll find that middle way through. You'll find that peace through it. The 7 of Wands is talking about being, again, very, very aware of the fact that it's you need to make peace with this, right? You need to absolutely make peace with this decision. You need to make peace with the fact that he's not going to be seen as the king, right? And that there is going to be this downgrade in stature, authority, even respect maybe from colleagues, but none of that matters because at the end of the day, it's going to come right. There is something about this that is going to come right, Holland. But I think that this is something that is going to be a bit difficult to get to. Like all of these 3 cards are going to be a little bit difficult to get from where you are now to this. And then we've also got the 8 of Pence reversed. Now the 8 of Pence is about burning the candle at both ends. You can see, look, as I've said before on this card, this person's got the quill pen and the books. They're trying to write. They've got the candles, literally. There's an aloe vera plant. They're trying to make potions. They're trying to do, spell work. They're trying to do everything all at the same time. They've got a candle lit there, there's one there, and you've got all of these cycles and all of this energy is going everywhere. Now this is also reversed. Okay, so this is also saying that basically it's the outcome of this is going to be that he doesn't have to burn the candle at both ends anymore. He doesn't have to be as stressed with work. He doesn't have to be as have his desk overfull the whole time trying to move forward. No, it's not. I think this is honestly about B, because I think that this is talking about like a lot. This takes the pressure off, if that makes sense. Like no longer is there going to be the same time limits, the same demands and the same sort of that to the same level. It's going to be an easier road. But again, that's going to take some adjustment, if that makes sense. Hopefully, Holland, that helps. I don't know if it does, but hopefully that helps. It does very much feel overall that this decision's already been made, to be honest with you. As much as it might be I don't want to do it, and they're going to drag their feet, it does feel like B's kind of made that choice because I think it's the right choice. But long term, once we get past accepting this, long term, I think it will be fine. And in fact, I think there's going to be opportunities to come from this new role, if that makes sense. It feels like it's going to lead to something down the line. So yeah, just keep an open mind with that. And again, like if the modifying card is about stability through the obstacles and challenges, I think you're doing all right. Hopefully that helps, my darling. I really do hope it does. Again, best and most wonderful luck and everything to you and to B. I can only imagine how stressful it is while you're making all of these decisions at the moment, or while everything's up in the air. As somebody that's also neurospicy, I know how enforced change is just the worst situation. But it honestly feels like in a year's time, you two are going to have a conversation, probably at like in bed at 11:30 on a I don't know, Thursday night, whereas or on a Sunday night, right? Whereas before it would be all about, I've got to get this marking done, I've got to get this done, I've got to get that done, all of this stuff I need to do, lesson planning for the week ahead, all of that. And instead it will be, oh, do you know what? I don't feel like anything to do tomorrow. I'm just going to go into work and do the job. You know what I mean? It feels like there's going to be a shift there. Anyway, I hope that helps. And thank you ever so much for your question. By the way, everybody, that was an example of a 10-card reading. They normally last about half an hour, if not a bit more, depending on what tangents I end up going down. And you can book a 10-card reading either live, face-to-face, in person, on my website. Hang on a second. If you're in the Leeds area, where is my website details? There we go. Aha! It's like I'm a professional. But you can book that on my website. You can also, I believe you can book it through Fiverr and Beyond Authentic, but you can also book a video one if you want a video reading that is a 10-card reading. You can go ahead and book that anytime over there and do that. So yes, right, what have we got up next? Let's have a look. Should we have some more questions in? Let's have some more questions in. Right, if you would like a reading, what do you have to do? How do you get a reading on this channel? Now it's all changed. Oh, by the way, hang on. I didn't scream. Every time, do you know, there's one button, right? And I keep knowing not to press it, but it opens up a whole different menu on StreamYard, and I click on it every single time. Right, where did I see? I saw Samat in the chat. Seti, hello, my darling. How are you? I hope you are well. Had to take out a loan, and your overdraft is £600 as it is. Oh God, tell me about it, love. Tell me about it. I've just got my business cards and stickers and leaflets in. Yeah, it's been a hell of a month for money going out. At least you have a roof, but things just keep getting harder. What's up, darling? What has happened? Let me have a look. Oh, hang on. I've got a message from Holland. It's a case of either retire now and scrape by, or take a job that's a bit miserable for a few years and then have a much better pension. Yeah, do that. It's actually that one. And you know you've already got that choice. Washing machine for a couple of years. Oh, have you got an issue with your washing machine? Yeah. I'm trying to find the anyone want to donate a washing machine? Hand washing in the bath takes the cake. Everything it does, it really does, my darling. But I used to, when I first moved to Leeds, I was a singleton, and I had no money, and I couldn't even afford going to the laundrette, so I washed everything by hand. It would all go in the bath. I'd roll me trousers up, take my shoes and socks off, and I would jump around in the bath. I can't do that these days because I'd fall flat on my face, but I would kick around as if I was pressing grapes. There you go. It's a little way of doing it. Just make sure your feet are clean before you do it. But stomp it in the bath like that, kick it around, get all your aggression out, kick that pair of jeans up the bloody wall, all of that, and then just rinse it all out, and then just hang it all up over your shower curtain or whatever. That's what I used to do. I did that for ages before I even got a washing machine. So yeah, it's sometimes also it's a lot easier if you just got a couple of items. Like if you just got to do your, I was about to say your knickers, you probably don't wear knickers, or you might wear knickers. Either way, no judgment. But whatever underwear, it's like that's always easier. If you just got a couple of pairs you need to wash, it's like when I was gigging, when I was touring, like quite often if I had to stay over, I'd go, oh, I've got on my show gear, but I haven't got, oh wash them in the thing, hand dryer them, or trouser, if we're in a hotel with a trouser press that. If not, I learned that if your underwear doesn't have metal stitching, then you can put it into the microwave to dry it. And hair straighteners work as well. Just thought I'd tell you that. So yeah, if you're ever in that position and you need to dry some clothes, then hair dryer, a microwave, or hair straighteners. You can, takes a long time, but you can. Anyway, right, let's have a look. Also, Temu, don't know how you say it, but that new app thing that's like Wish, they're advertising a washing machine for like 79p. I wouldn't get it because it's probably a load of crap, but it's like a plastic thing and you put a thing in and it spins. It just looks I wouldn't get it, but yeah. Right, let me have a look. What are we doing? Hang on a second. Did anybody put, what a hilarious mental picture. What, jumping up and down in your wash? No, it was good. Back in the days when I had legs that worked and balance that didn't make me fall over every 5 seconds as if I was pissed, putting all your jeans and your t-shirts and all of that in your bath, hot water-ish, a bit of sprinkling of your soap powder. That's soap powder, by the way. Look at that, soap powder. Some soap powder sprinkled in. Stompy, 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 stompy. If there's any stains, you know, on the knees or in the butt or wherever else you got a stain because you've fallen over, out like that. Stompy, 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 stompy. Put a good old, I mean, this was back in I was about to say back in the 90s, but it wasn't quite. It was back in the 2000s. Put on a good old stompy dance track. Stomp, off you go. Kicky, kicky. You get them clean in no time. And also a bit of exercise. Anyway, shut up, Lisa. We're going to go back on with another reading. Can you believe I've drunk my coffee and my pot and my water already? Right. It's been a really weird evening tonight, hasn't it, everyone? We've done 10 card readings. We've done, I don't know what else we've done. 10 card readings and all sorts. I don't even know what we've done today. Anyway, right. Go ahead and put your question into the live chat now. Start your question with the word question. And then I will be able to pick one of those at random. And I will choose a person at random to get the next question. If you would like yours absolutely guaranteed to be not only next, but answered, but not just answered, but answered next, go across here. Go and do the buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic, where you can, in fact, buy me a coffee and QJump. So then let's have a look. Questions are right. Anchor, yeah. For a start, you haven't put the word question in the front, so you're automatically not in this list. You need to put the word question in. Also, Ernie, I'm sure I did you a reading like on Sunday. Did I not? I'm sure I did a reading for you on Sunday, my darling. So I'm going to do Nandini's question anyway. What is coming towards you regarding college admissions? Let's have a look for Nandini. Let's have a look. I'm just, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. I always turn the volume off when I am drinking so that, unless I'm drinking with a straw, as you heard earlier, so that you don't get misophonia, which is when you don't like slurpy noises. Right then, dragons. You've been on form tonight, by the way, my friends. Right, Nandini would like to know what is coming towards them regarding college admission. So what have we got to tell Nandini about college? We're going to do, dragons, we'll do the where you are, what you need to know, opportunity card. That's what we're going to do. So what is happening with college? Ooh, did you see that card fly out? We've got the 6 of Cups. So Cups is your emotional suit. It's what it's a water symbol, but it's largely to do with your emotions, right? So it's talking about generally more positive emotions, because the negative emotions for me tend to come up with the swords cards. So this is like quite a positive card. It's also a card about family, community, but also a little bit about reminiscence and nostalgia. So we'll have a look and see what the cards have to say. And as always, once a card flips, that's when we stop shuffling and we go ahead and do your drop, otherwise known as cutting the cards. And right, I'm going to make sure that I am on the other screen so that I don't get distracted by the chat. And we are going to hang on a second. Sorry, I just saw something pop up. Ernie, just take my question if you have time, no issue. That's very rude, my friend. Like, you're not paying for readings and there are other people on the stream. That's a very rude way of putting it. In fact, that's incredibly rude. So yeah, we don't, that's not what we do on this channel, my friend. That is not what we do on this channel at all. So yeah, let's not have that energy, please. That feels really negative. Right, I've just popped them in a temporary timeout. Right then, Nandini, where was your question gone? I've got it. There. Sorry about that, Nandini, my friend. Right, let's lay your cards. Past, no, where you are now, what you need to know, and opportunity. Oh, out of 4, because you've got the minor card, the modifying card. Out of 3 cards that have laid down, though, we've got 2 majors. So this is an important reading. So let's see where the card cam wants to work. Hopefully, it looks like we're doing okay with card cam now. Fingers crossed. It must have been the atmospherics, as my grandma used to say. That was her excuse for everything. The telly's wonky. Atmospherics. The radio's wonky. Atmospherics. Right. So where you are now, we've got the Emperor. So it feels like you've got some choices to make, my friend. It does feel like, actually, I don't know whether you've done your exams already, but it feels like when the admissions come in, when your options come in, it feels like you can have a pick. It feels like you are going to have to pick and you're going to have options. Now, look at the confidence that this card has. Look how confident this guy is, right? Is that not? Now, I don't say this very often, but is that not the ultimate kind of, is it BDE they call it? Big dick energy? Like, where this guy just knows. He just knows, right? He's got the playing card there. What playing card is that? Oh, it's only the king, isn't it? Because the Emperor is above the king. He's got the entire globe in the background. So he's literally sitting on the planet, sitting on the globe. He's got a horned skull here. So he's defeated the beasts. So this guy is super confident. The Emperor has the final say in the tarot decks, right? Because above the Emperor is, well, technically no one. Because the Emperor is above all the kings. He's even above the Hierophant, because eventually the Emperor has the power to say, nope, off with their head, effectively. You know what I mean? So this is where you are now. So this says, I don't know whether your exams have already happened, but it feels like you've done really well, or you're about to do really well, right? You're going to have this swagger about you. Does that make sense? Now, what you need to know, we've got the Page of Pentacles. So this is talking about some youthful energy in the workplace, right? So when you're talking about college admissions, excuse me, this is like there's a little bit of naivety going on here. Okay, so there's a little bit of innocence and a little bit of naivety. It's almost the polar opposite to this Emperor card, right? This is not quite the full, so it's not saying you're at the start of your journey, but work-wise, it feels like you're gonna feel almost like being a child again, and like having too much to pick and having too many options. Again, we're filtering all of this through this 6 of Cups card, so it's feeling really positive, and it's feeling like, you know, you're going to have this like the decisions when they come your way, I think you're going to get multiple colleges that want you. I think there's going to be multiple places that are like, Nandini, come to our college. Nandini, come to our college. Nandini, come to our college. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be given more than one option. And that is going to be then down to you to manage this a little bit carefully, my friend, because this is talking about that youthful energy. It's almost like, don't pick the first one, don't grab the first one. Think it through. Make sure that you make it a community decision. Like, ask your family, ask your friends, ask people that have been to the colleges, and then weigh up the decisions that way. Okay, because it does really feel like you're going to have multiple opportunities. So even to the point when the first letter drops and you're like, you've got an offer of a place, at that point, kind of hang in there a little bit, like give it time, give it a couple of days or so, and see what happens with another letter that comes through the post with other applications or emails or however it's done. It does feel really interesting that you're going to have this option. It feels really, really positive, my friend. And your opportunity card, we've got the Hangman, another major arcana card. Now, the Hangman does talk about waiting and a little bit about self-sacrifice, but it's a self-sacrifice for a much greater good, for more knowledge, for more understanding. So it feels like there's do you know what it feels like? If I'm being totally honest, let me swap cameras. Hang on, because this needs eye contact. Right. What it feels like, Nandini, is that you've got one option that's like an easy option, and that's like the childlike option. That's the one that's like, oh, I'll just go and do this. It's easy. You know where it is. You know everything about it, blah, blah, blah. But it feels like there is another option coming your way. And this Hangman card is talking about just maybe wait a little bit, wait until you've got all the information to make that choice, because it really does feel like there is, if you wait, and I'm not saying cancel or like turn down the opportunity, just if they give you 2 weeks, wait the full 2 weeks before you answer. Do you know what I mean? Because it feels like there is, if you wait a little bit and get all the information in, there is something else coming your way that is going to be more positive in the longer run. And it may well be that it's going to be like, it might be further away, or it might mean, you know, moving into digs rather than staying where you are. Whatever that is, whatever difference it makes, it feels like actually overall it's going to be a much better opportunity for you, particularly with this Six of Cups being your clarifying with through all of this. So that Six of Cups is really saying, look, you know, it may be that you're not close to your childhood friends, but actually you're going to make long-term friendships and long-term connections that are going to, you know, you'll be ringing up someone that you meet at the second college at this option. You'll be ringing someone up in 30 years time going, hiya, do you remember when we were at college? Right, I need a favor. Do you remember that time I did and I didn't tell the dean about that, did I? No, I didn't. So now I need a favor. I need you to loan me 3.7 billion bitcoins. Thank you. You know, it's something like that where you're going to have these connections. It's going to pay off in the long run and for the long term. Hopefully that makes sense. It feels really positive, Nandini. It feels like whatever these options are that are coming your way, you're going to want to grab the first one. Just hold off on there. That's all I'm going to say, my darling. Remember, you do make all your own decisions about your own life, and tarot is only for entertainment purposes. It isn't for, you know, I'm not a trained financial advisor, career advisor, anything like that. So just bear that in mind. But from my perspective, as I would read the cards, it feels like you've got quite a lot of positivity coming your way. And to be honest, you've been on this channel quite a bit, Nandini, now, and I know you've worked your backside off for this. You've worked really hard through difficult times, and so whatever this positivity is that's coming your way with college, you absolutely deserve it, my friend. You absolutely deserve it. So fingers crossed, hang on in there. You know, make sure you make informed choices, but it feels really, really positive. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much, and I am going to I'm going to say, yeah, thanks for the reading. Right, thanks for the reading. I did the reading. Thanks for the question. Right, let's have a look in the chat. Patience is what you require. You filled in some forms and was thinking of hopping in the first one I got. Oh, no, you need to be more stable. Yes, you do, my darling. Just, it's like your first love, isn't it? Right? Here we go. Lisa's going off on a tangent. Grab your drink and your snacks, everyone. It's like your first love, right? When you got your first love, you think, oh, I can't be with anybody else. Oh, just that person. And then you realize that actually David Hasselhoff lives in America, and actually he probably isn't going to drive all the way over to the UK, even though Kit could probably float on water, because we haven't seen that yet. And he's probably not going to be interested in you, seeing as you are still at school. And in fact, you're like 7. Not that I had a crush on David Hasselhoff, you understand. I didn't. I had a crush on Michael Knight. Thank you very much. But yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like you've just got to keep going, my darling. And the choices, I don't know why I was saying that. There was something else I was going to say, wasn't there? But you will absolutely, you're going to like what the options are. Put it that way. You're going to like what the options are. You really are. You really are. It feels really positive. Right, let's get a reading. If anybody wants a psychic tarot reading on Tarot Tuesday, go ahead and put your question into the live chat right now. Where's my banner gone? I'm not even on the right space. There we go. To start your question with the word question in the live chat right now, I will hit the magic button. Start your question with the word question, followed by what you want to know. I will hit the magic buttons. I'm going to give you about 40 seconds because I know that YouTube has got quite a lot of delays. So we'll do that for you now. And here is how you get a reading. Get everybody, I will give everybody a chance to put them in because I know that's only 20 seconds. While I give you a chance to finish typing your question and hitting the enter button, I'm going to play 2 little videos that I've made for 2 wonderful friends of mine. They are both moderators on the stream. They've both got Etsy stores, and yeah, this is not sponsored. It is just literally a shout out to amazing friends, and if you would like to support them, and if you're able to support them, then I totally recommend what the products that they've got. Put it that way. Yeah.
Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necroneil.
Absolutely. Necroneil, who I think goes by that in the chat. I think Necroneil goes by Necroneil in the chat. I think that's right. Is the person that does the wonderful fanzine for Necronomicon. It is a horror magazine, so if you like horror films of the 80s, 90s, 70s, all of that, it's absolutely amazing. I love it to pieces. Go and check that out on Etsy. Just look for Necroneil. And again, if you like witchy things, if you like wall hangings and jewelry and anything like that, charms, if you want to bring some magic into your life, then do just search for Blue Chalice on Etsy as well. Totally recommend both of those businesses. They're both run by amazing people, and yeah, support them if you can. I make no money. I haven't got discount codes or anything like that. I make no money. Just, you know, friends that I and businesses I really like. Anyway, right, let's have a look. Who put the question in? Who put the thingy in the cooking pot? You do the thingy in the cooking pot. Do. I don't know what that was, but it's a thing. It's just reminding me of. Right. Let's have a look. We are going to go to Anchor. I can't pronounce that. I can barely read without. Oh no, these are sunglasses. Right. Anchor. Srivats. I can't even see the blooming Srivastava. Anchor Srivastava. Srivastava. Hopefully, I haven't bastardized it too much, but hopefully, Anchor, that helps. Right, let's have a look. Did Lama Naidu love me? And how much? It's real or just showing me she loves me? Okay, I think your question is, did Lama Naidu really love you or was she pretending? Is that what you mean? Hopefully that's what you mean. We'll go ahead and ask the dragons. Rishi Lahori, hang on in there. I will see if I can get to you next. Let's have a look. Right then, Ankor Sravastra. I can just call you Ankor. Thank you. So, dragons, Ankor would like to know, did Lama Naidu love him? And if so, did she really love him or was she just going through the motions? That's what we want to know, dragons. So, was there a real love connection between Lamar and Ankor? Or was it just going through the motions and kind of playing the part, if you like? Let's have a look. Right then, one more shuffle, one more round. So when I say one more round, it literally means 4 more hand shuffles. I don't know what you call this, but 4 more of them. Right, in case anyone was wondering. Right, let's have a look. This is your drop. We've got no modifying card, look. Come on, where's it going to go? Oh, right in the center. Look at that. Right in the center. So then, 1, 2, 3. Did Lamar Nouveau really love you or was it something else? Let's have a look. Right, let's go to card cam. Hopefully this will work. It's been a bit temperamental tonight, but hopefully we're doing okay. Right, so what you need to know. Where you are now, what you need to know, and your opportunities. So we've got the 5 of Wands in where you are now. So this is where I would say where the 2 of you are, where your relationship is. Hang on, or would this? No, that's right. Yes, right. Yeah, where you are now. So nothing to do with Lamar, right? This is just where you are now. 5 of Wands is your sense of security. It's your sense of confidence, all of that, how you see yourself in the world. And the 5 is embattled. Look, these people are using the wands to try and climb, to get this fire, to maybe put it out or maybe to grab it. They are looking for that fire energy, but they are not working together. There is a competition. There is an element of people pulling in their own directions rather than all pulling together, and this is reverse, which means this is what was happening. So it feels like there were different motives involved in this relationship. Maybe you weren't aware of that. So I don't know whether Lamar or Lama, I don't know whether she kind of right. Hang on. You know it goes serious, right? So what this card is telling me is that there was a different objective, right? So in the relationship, it feels like you wanted something and Lamar wanted maybe something else, and you were pulling in different directions. And the reason I'm saying that is because of literally the fact that it's reversed and the fact that all of these figures are pulling in different directions. Now, in a relationship, that can mean, it doesn't necessarily mean nefarious. It doesn't necessarily mean that she didn't love you or didn't feel for you, but it feels like what you wanted out of the relationship was different. She had her own ulterior motives, if you like. There was a reason that she wanted something from you, rather than it just being, hi, we've just met, I find you attractive, I like your background, you know, I think we've got things in common, let's date, oh, now we're falling in love, let's get married, let's have a family. It's like there was something else, like one of you, it feels like one of you wanted that and one of you wanted something else, and that's probably where Lamar comes in. Now, in the what you need to know, you've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. This has come up, I think, 3 or 4 times tonight. Now, this is really talking about it was risky. Whatever that relationship was, it was like spinning that roulette wheel, but it was like spinning the roulette wheel, you putting your money on red, but all of a sudden the board, the wheel being 88% black, and there only being a little chunk of red things that you could win on. Does that make sense? So it feels like this Wheel of Fortune, it's like it wasn't, what is it they say, the house always wins in casinos? It's like that. It's like it was stacked against your favor. It was a trick roulette wheel, so you had very little chance of winning. And this is when I'm saying this is what you need to know. It feels like the relationship, it's like whatever you believed, it was stacked against you. So your question literally, did they love you, and how much is it real? I don't think it was. The cards are saying I don't think it was, because this is really talking about kind of being hoodwinked, and they're like, spin that wheel, take the opportunity, it's going to be lovely. But also there's a massive risk involved with spinning the roulette wheel. As I've said loads of times, you go into a casino with your last £100. Yes, you could win a lot of money, but you could also lose your last £100 or your last $100. And that is the risk. And this card coming up reversed is saying that that risk was kept from you. So it feels like, I don't know whether there were lies that you uncovered or whether there was some sort of scam that you uncovered, but it feels very much like that. It wouldn't surprise me if you were, if it was kind of like you got an email, not an email from a Nigerian prince, but it kind of feels like that. Do you know what I mean? It's my other half. It feels like maybe, I don't know why, but I've got the impression she was a scammer. I've got the impression that she was after, I don't know whether you have money, but she was after something material from you. Because the Wheel of Fortune, for me, it's very rarely about like, try that course. You never know. You might discover you're an artist. Try this, you know, go and do a painting course because you might discover you're a real good painter. Go and try baking a cake because actually you might be a really good baker. You know, it's not about that. It's not about testing new things to see if you like them. It's about putting things on the line and risking it all. And for me, this reversal is saying that I don't think you were aware of what you were risking. And now the opportunity, though, is actually quite good because this is not Lamar, right? This is not Lamar, but it feels like coming up, you have a Queen of Pentacles coming your way soon, right? So if there is a financial link, I mean, this could be with Lamar if there was a financial link to Lamar. So I don't know whether you gave her money or like there's a joint bank account or something, but whatever it is, this card is talking about an opportunity with probably a woman, because the queens tend to bring female energy, a woman with her own substance. Does that make sense? So a woman who is able to pay her own way, and is self-sufficient, and a woman who doesn't need your money. I don't know whether you've got money, but you know what I mean? It's like she doesn't need that from you. So she's going to be independent, and this is your opportunity coming up. So if you randomly meet someone in the street and she's wearing twigs in her headband that make it look like antlers, I'm not saying she will be, but say you meet somebody random in the street and you have a lovely conversation, then you're like, do you fancy going for coffee? And she says, okay, we'll go halves, or we'll go Dutch, or we'll share the bill, or whatever she says. Bear that person in mind. Keep that person in mind, because this Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is, whether you're at the same level financially or not, because again, I don't know what culture you're from, and sometimes that isn't possible. But like me and Rufus are slightly different points financially, but we'll still split things where we can, and we'll still, you know, I'll still chip in and pay what I can when I can, and all of that. And this is a bit like that with this Queen of Pentacles. It's like, you know, this queen will be able to cover a dinner once. You know, she won't just say, he's paying. She'll be like, oh no, this is my turn, you got dinner last time. And it might be that you went to a really swanky restaurant and she takes, you know, and now you've gone to a slightly less swanky restaurant and the bill's gone from $120 to $60, but she'll still cover it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she's a millionaire, but this is a really positive card, my darling. And overall, I don't know whether you and Lamar have completely split. If you have, it feels like you got a lucky escape. Okay, remember, you make all your own decisions about your own life. It's only for entertainment purposes only. But it feels like you might have got a lucky escape from this situation. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question. And I'm going to click over onto the chat. Oh, gosh, hang on. What's happening in the chat? Maybe a business. Okay, she asked you to do some investment. She's telling you to invest that will help you to clear your loans. Invest in what? No, money. No. Red flag. No. She's telling me to invest that will help me clear your loan. Well, how? The only way to clear your loans is to pay more off your loans. What are you going to invest in, and what interest does she have in that investment? You know what I mean? Maybe take some independent financial advice, my darling. As I say, and as it even says on the ticker tape, this is not financial advice, but maybe go see a financial advisor. And oh my God, no. What was that center card? The Wheel of Fortune reversed. I can't say don't invest. Go see a financial advisor. Absolutely. Make your decision from a financial advisor, from an expert. But this Wheel of Fortune reversed is saying, be bloody careful. Be bloody careful, because it's reversed. If I had to advise you, right, and again, mate, you make all your own decisions, please see a financial advisor. If from what the cards are saying, literally, I would not be investing. If this was me, I would not be investing anywhere at the moment. Absolutely not. With these cards, I would not be listening to anybody about investing anywhere unless it was 2 or 3 different financial advisors all said, like, this is a good thing on gold or Bitcoin or whatever it might be, right? I would not be doing any other type of investment right now, my darling. So yeah, be very careful. Oh, hang on. By daily gain in stocks. It doesn't work that way. Like, some stocks rise really dramatically, but a lot don't. You know, if it was easy just to go, right, we'll put £1,000 into whatever, or £10,000 into whatever, that would be simple, would all be really rich. But yeah, just be a bit careful, my darling. Be a bit careful. Sounds like a romance scam. What's a romance scam? I don't even know what one of those is. Oh, what? Like, oh, hang on. 90 Day Fiance, like that, where, oh no, that's for green cards. Is that where, like, someone pretends to love you and then they get you to invest in their stocks or something? But how would that... If she's telling you to invest in something specifically, run a mile. Right. Okay. I did say I would read for... Where's the person gone? Rishi. I said I would read for Rishi next. Rishi, are you still here, my darling? If so, come and say hello in the live chat, because we need to have a quick chat, my darling. Come and have a look. All right. Oh, is that? I've never heard of a romance scam. I mean, I have seen it on things like 90 Day Fiance, where you get like a large post-middle-aged woman who starts chatting to a young guy in ... add country here, and he's like, oh, I love you, and oh, I can come to America and live with you, and blah blah blah, and then it's all about staying with her because they think he's got is that sort of thing. Yeah, probably. Right, is it? Oh shit, it's 2 minutes to 9. I didn't even realize that. Thank you, Ed. Right, Rishi, I'm going to do your in fact, this is why I need to have a chat. Right, I'm not going to do your reading, right, my darling. There is a reason. Your question, let me find it. What do I do with the random voices you're hearing? Right, so there's a couple of things, right? Are the voices real or are they in your head, right? And if they're in your head, it doesn't mean they're not real, put it that way, right? When you say the voices you're hearing, how would you define those voices? That would be my question. So yeah, let me know in the chat, because it could be multiple things. It could be multiple things. Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Patricia. I have to have a look. Depending on where the voices are, right? If you're talking about, like, so we talk about it in the podcast that's coming out either tomorrow or Thursday, depending on once I get it edited. All right, okay, hang on a second. Right, you don't know. You were told someone's done black magic on you to destroy your mental health. Right, okay. We can tackle that dead easy, right? This is what you need. Let me get my magic kit out, right? It's really complicated magic kit. This is what you need. Are you ready? A candle, a lighter, and maybe, if you can find it, this is from the darkest, most mystical area of the Himalayas, right? And it's handmade by Tibetan monks who have done this for 1,000 years, and the only way that they possibly can, right? Piece of paper. And what you do is you write on the piece of paper either any negativity I have been sent, or you write cursed, or if you know the person it's come from, the curse that so and so is sent, right? And you write that on your piece of paper, you fold it up, you take your candle, you take your lighter, you light your candle. You then go outside, so you're not going to set fire to your house, and you set fire to that piece of paper. And as it burns, that is all it takes for the universe to lift that curse, basically, right? Basically how it works. There is no such thing as black magic. It's bullshit. There is curses and hexes and all of that stuff. But the way they work is basically by telling you, I have cursed you. That's how it works. Because if you tell somebody they've been cursed, they will believe they've been cursed. They'll then act like they've been cursed, and everything that goes wrong in their life, they will amplify because they've been cursed. If curses worked, you wouldn't need to tell the person you are cursing, because you'd just do something and their life would fall apart, right? So if somebody said they've done some black magic on you, bullshit. Also, if a tarot reader, psychic, angel worker, whatever, has ever said to you, you've been cursed, probably the next words out of their mouth will be, pay me $50 and I'll release the curse. Pay me $150 and I will let the curse go. Give me your entire life savings and I will work and make sure you are never cursed again. It's a scam, my darling. Have a look on, thank you, Neil. Have a look on the channel. Me and Neil did a podcast and it was called Health and Magic. It's a podcast where we talk about that. We talk about magical practice. We talk about, dealing with things like that. There's also, if you look on the channel, there is protection workings and lots of other bits and pieces that you can find that I've done. But generally speaking, if somebody says they've done a black magic curse on you, it's bullshit, because quite frankly, as a liminal witch, the amount of effort and energy it takes to try and curse someone, it's not worth it. It is too much hassle for the witch, right? It is too much hassle for the person casting the curse. It's much easier for me to say, right? For me as a witch, it's much easier for me to go, I've cursed you. That's much easier. I've cursed you. 3 words. You do the rest in that case. I don't have to do anything. You just believe that I've cursed you and off you go and everything turns to shit. That's much easier than me spending days and days and days building up energy and sending it out into the universe in a really negative way, but in a way that's not going to rebound on me, blah, 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 blah. It's much easier just to say, I've cursed you. 9 times out of 10, 99.99 times out of 100, that is what it is, my darling. Especially if they then say, I can lift it if you send me $20, $200, $500, whatever. So yeah, that is it though. Unfortunately, I can't do you a full reading on it, partly because there is the element that it could be a mental health issue, in which case, as we said, go and check out the podcast. And as you know, we don't do medical questions like that on the channel. If it is a medical issue, if it is something you are having audible voices, then again, speak to a medical practitioner, speak to a counselor about it, and take it from there. 9 times out of 10, always go with the mundane before the magical, right? Go with the real world, everyday world solutions to problems before you reach for the magical. Trust me, that is, after many years of practice, that is what I have learned above all else. And with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question. I wish you the very best of luck. Have a look on the channel. There's plenty of protection workings. There's plenty of, I think there's even a mirror working one. There's all sorts of bits and pieces on the channel. So have a look at those. And that is going to be it for us today. It is now 9:05. We're supposed to finish 5 minutes ago. Sorry to the mods. Once again, we finished late. But I think you're all used to that with me by now. I think if I ever finish directly or a minute early, you'll all have a bloody heart attack. But that is going to be it from us, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Please do, if you're watching this on the replay, as ever, please do show the mods some love down in the comments section. Go ahead and what emoji should we have today? Shall we have, because it's been a lovely, gorgeous, sunshiny day. Sunshiny day. Let's have the sunshine or the sun emoji. That would be really lovely. Once again, huge thank you for you all for watching, for tuning in tonight, and a huge thank you to the mods for keeping everybody safe and secure right there in the live chat. I will see you again on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. on the general YouTube channel, 6 p.m. if you are on the 6 p.m. if you're one of the members over here, buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic. You can come and get yourself a 10-card reading, potentially. Come and hang out with us, where we're also going to talk about this, that, and the other, and generally have a good old natter privately as the members talk, with the members, if that makes sense. Don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. See you all later. I've had fun. Hope you have too, and we'll see you again very, very soon. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will definitely see you next time. Awkward wave, everybody. Awkward wave.